Your lesson essential question is, how can we use the distributive property to break large arrays into smaller arrays? So we're going to be breaking apart arrays today. To make two simpler facts. And this is called the distributive property, and we'll get back to that in just a second. I want to remind you what an array is before we move on. So you remember last week we talked about arrays, and arrays have equal numbers of rows and equal columns. So each row has the same number and each column has the same number. We use arrays to help us with multiplication. Last year you used arrays for repeated addition. So if we were looking at these apples, you see that we have 1, 2, 3 rows. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So your multiplication fact would be 3 times 4. We could also use repeated addition, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or 4 plus 4 plus 4. Let's move on and talk about the distributive property. The distributive property of multiplication says that a multiplication fact can be broken up into two easier facts and then solved by finding the sum. I'll show you what I mean. Maria wants to set up 7 rows of 4 chairs for a meeting. She wants to know how many chairs she needs, but does not know the product of 7 times 4. So Maria is going to set up 7 rows with 4 chairs in each row. So row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So she's got her 7 rows, and she's got 4 in each row, which would be the same as 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is kind of difficult. Maybe you don't know your facts that well yet, especially your 7 facts. But we all know that our 5 facts are a little bit easier. So what if we had an array that only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows? So now we've got 2 arrays. We still have all 7 rows, but we just broke it up into 2 different arrays. So 5 times 4 is a lot easier than 7 times 4. And 2 times 4 is a lot easier than 7 times 4. So 7 times 4 has now been broken up into 2 different problems. We've got our first array, which is 5 times 4. And then we've got our second array, which is 1, 2 times 4. And like we talked about last week, those 5s facts are so easy because we can count by 5s, and those 2s facts are so easy because we can count by 2s. So 5 times 4, I count 5, 10, 15, 20. So array number 1 has 20 chairs. Array number 2, I can count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2 times 4 is 8. Now I'm not done yet. I know this top array has 20, and I know the bottom array has 8, but I need to put them all together. 20 plus 8 is 28. So 7 times 4 equals 28. So what I did was I broke up my array into two simpler arrays so that I would have two simpler facts.